Alright, scoreboard.
Yeah, fix the scoreboard.
Are we live? But I don't think our volume's on. It's so laggy, I can't tell you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shepherd
We're
Stadium.
Not, I don't think
Am I live?
he's in.
So, sorry about that. We missed the top of the first inning, but
Here, you. I don't think. Do I turn?
welcome to Shepherd Stadium here in Colonial Heights, Virginia, for this second semifinal of the VISAA State Baseball Tournament. Earlier today, the Norfolk Academy Bulldogs, the number 7 ranked team in this tournament, took down the number 3 ranked Paul VI. The Bulldogs are the first team in the state final, which will take place tomorrow night, weather permitting. But right now we've got the St. Christopher Saints and the Collegiate Cougars as Nick Biddison takes a big rip. It was foul, it was in left field, but Shepherd Stadium is notorious for giving players a lot of room to hit balls, and Collegiate's left fielder, that's number 10, David Hugo, tracked it down and caught that fly out from Nick Biddison. And who knows, if we were in a different setting, different stadium, Nick Biddison with 7 home runs on the season might have flew that one out. But here's number 10, Donovan Murphy, stepping in against Collegiate's pitcher, Stewart. It's Michael Stewart.
And the Saints are not looking to reciprocate the 3-up, 3-down that happened with the Collegiate batters, ending with Travis Rees-Steiner striking out last in the top of the first.
Yeah, that was Madison Furman, the Saints' all-star pitcher, sending the Cougars straight back to their dugout. But now Donovan Murphy's in there with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now one's in the dirt from Stewart. Rees-Steiner, the catcher, able to get behind that one.
Murphy having the most RBIs for the Saints this year and the second most at-bats, second most hits as well. So he's proved to be a dominant batter for the Saints and relied upon in tough times.
It's a good cut, wound up just foul. So yeah, the Saints top of the lineup is pretty intimidating. We just saw Nick Biddison fly out there. He's the leading home runs producer for the Saints and also produces the second most hits. And on deck is Patrick Rootsis, one of the star juniors for the St. Christopher's team that, while having a very impressive lineup of seniors, has a very young core as well. And Stewart able to get Murphy chasing on that one. That ball broke just a little bit outside, and Murphy goes down swinging.
And Patrick Rootsis, definitely a defining player for the Saints. Definitely the candidate for a third out here, but most notably, just last game against Fuma, he got a sacrifice fly to win the game, walk-off sac fly, which was very impressive. And on top of that, he pitched the majority of the game, performing very well, recording numerous strikeouts, but ultimately was recorded as a no decision because Madison Furman was substituted in at the point at which Patrick won the game.
Yeah, I believe that was against Trinity in the first round of the state tournament here. Rootsis takes the first one as a strike. We should mention we have a absolutely spectacular crowd here at Shepherd Stadium. Lots of supporters from both teams, Collegiate and St. Christopher's. Obviously storied rivals, just 10 minutes down the road back up in Richmond, but plenty of loyal fans made the trek down here to Petersburg. And we should be in for some great baseball here under the lights as the sun finishes setting down. That's a great cut from Rootsis. A lot of space in the outfield, might have dropped, but it was a good track down from Collegiate's right fielder. As Donovan Williams tracked that one down to end the inning the same as it in the bottom of the inning, the same as it did in the first. So Saints and Cougars both send 3 to bat and 3 come down. So we will take just a quick break here. as we change sides for the second inning. All right, we're here in the top of the second inning. It's Lou Rice stepping in for the Cougars. Madison Furman, nice breaking ball to get him. First pitch strike.
Lou Rice, one of the most versatile players for the Cougars, able to play third base, he pitches, and is a catcher.
So the home plate umpire defers to his fellow umpire at third, and they did indeed say that Rice went for it.
Despite Cougar outcry, that second pitch was a strike, so he's now 1-2 after this ball.
Furman now at 15 pitches on the day. Had 8 strikes in the first inning, and he gets Rice to foul that one off. So it's still 1-2 for Rice. That one just inside from Furman. Madison Furman, the VCU commit.
Rounder right to second baseman, fumbles it. And it's an error. Will Atkinson with the error there. Unable to convert and get it to first baseman.
Yeah, they'll list that one as an error. Second baseman Will Atkinson couldn't get that one out of his glove and then sent it wide of Murphy. So Rice gets on from a Saints error. Now it's Brett Oney stepping in, the first baseman. Bunt's trying to advance Rice. Furman chases it down, flicks it to Murphy. So Oney with a good bunt for the Cougars, advancing Rice to second, now in scoring position and avoiding the force out. And now here comes the pitcher for the Cougars, Michael Stewart. I was mentioning Madison Furman, the Saints pitcher, a really incredible 9-1 record on the season and a 1.37 ERA to boot. Really dominating all the teams he's faced. He went on a 25 scoreless inning run in the heart of the season. The Saints winning the majority of those games. Winning all those games as they went through his run. But let's see what he can do with Stewart. As Stewart makes some contact in the ball, skips off the helmet of Biddison back there. Biddison, another one of the Saints baseball college commits. He'll play college ball at Virginia Tech up in Blacksburg. So Furman now with the 0-2.
Yeah, Madison Furman definitely looking to get this strikeout here. The team really needs it as there's a man on second. Can't afford to get another hit that could possibly drive him home.
Yeah, that one was low, and Biddison lost track of it, so Rice will advance to third on a steal.
Saints in dangerous territory here with only one out. A sacrifice fly will get that man on third in and the bunt, or just even a deep hit in the right position.
Yeah, and with one out at 2-2. Not the best situation for the Saints with a man on third, but we've seen them get out of trickier situations before. Furman bounces that one in the dirt.
Unusual to see Furman pitching like this early in the game. Turned the 0-2 count to a 3-2. It could be spelling trouble for the Saints.
Yeah, with a pitcher as experienced and of such high quality as Madison Furman, though, you gotta expect he'll settle down and produce something. And that grounder goes to Atkinson. Atkinson gets the force at first. But Michael Stewart, the pitcher, able to get an RBI on that ground out. Sends Lou Rice in for the first run of the game. I'm not sure if this is going to play much of a factor, but you mentioned, Henry, that in the Saints' first round game against the Trinity Episcopal Titans, Madison Furman had to come in to relieve Rootsis and finish off the game. So some unwanted innings, and yeah, Bittison's gonna just check in with Furman, see if he can settle him down just a little bit.
And I mean, you can just see there, like on that one run, I'm sure Bittison's exasperated on the error that Will Atkinson committed to Donovan Murphy, and then Donovan Murphy's failed catch. But I mean, just getting him then to second, there was a chance to get that second out, but the not so great pitcher Madison Furman, followed by the bad catch from Nick Bittison, really resulted in just that run that should never have happened in the first place.
So in now for the Cougars is Hayden Luckert, the designated hitter. Going for the right fielder, Donovan Williams. Fouls the first two off. Excuse me, fouls two off. Now the count's at 2-2. There's a lot of baseball left and only one run, so the Saints definitely not going to be too worried about this. That one was high and in there. Third base umpire not getting Luckert on the check swing. So a full count now for Madison Furman. Luckert chases and is able to stay in there.
Barely able to get that foul. Excellent pitch from Madison Furman.
Furman really wanting to get this out. Racking up the pitches here in the second inning. That was a delicious looking breaking ball. Knocks him down. Madison Furman able to close out the inning and get the Saints back to offense. So Collegiate scores one run on a passed ball. Excuse me, advance to third on a passed ball. And an RBI knocked him in. So we'll take a quick break as the Saints get ready for their at-bat.
Hunter Andrews leading off for the Saints this inning. Fourth batter for the Saints, power hitter. Done a really excellent job of scoring for the Saints this year. Numerous home runs and RBIs. .319 batting average for the year. Anything above 300, for those of you who don't know, is considered fantastic. So to see someone batting like that is truly a great asset for the Saints.
Andrews gets contact, sends that in the hole between shortstop and third base, and gets the Saints' first hit of the game. He's at first as Griffin O'Farrell steps in. Oh, excuse me, that's that's Madison Furman.
Oh, you're correct. Yes, Madison Furman. I thought it was Griffin.
So Madison Furman stepping in for the Saints. Able to do it on both sides of the ball. He's going to try and help his cause right now and at least advance Hunter Andrews. So he plays down a fantastic looking bunt right down the first baseline and was close to being safe. Yeah, close to getting there, but Michael Stewart flips it over to first. So now it's Griffin O'Farrell stepping in for the Saints.
Griffin O'Farrell, a freshman for the Saints.
Yeah, has had a really, really impressive freshman year.
Just an amazing athlete overall. Great addition to the Saints baseball team and one that will be on for many years to come.
Yeah, son of head athletic director Ren O'Farrell. Griffin steps in as Tom Scaravati waits on the on-deck circle. One out for the Saints and a man on second, as Andrews was advanced by Furman's bunt. Griffin O'Farrell takes the first for a strike. O'Farrell batting .322 on the year. Really impressive numbers for him. He has 19 hits, 15 singles, 4 doubles, and 7 RBI produced for the Saints.
So a little high and inside. Pitcher there. Throw the ball to much controversy from the Cougar section.
So now O'Farrell sits at 1-1. Stewart just checking Andrews' lead there. The sun has gone down and the lights are turned up here at Shepherd Stadium. Really great atmosphere. We're lucky that the rain has decided to hold off. We've had a full slate of VISAA tournaments, as Reef Snyder just asks the question, tries and see if his second baseman can rack up an easy out, but as I mentioned, the weather's delayed quite a few of state tournaments. Earlier today, the St. Catharines soccer team lost to Collegiate actually in their state final. Griffin O'Farrell got that one inside, tried to slide it down the third baseline, but just foul.
So this game's a lot about redemption for the Saints. The varsity Saints lacrosse team lost to Collegiate, which put them at a huge disadvantage in their state boys lacrosse finals. As you just said, the girls varsity soccer team lost to Collegiate, and even though the varsity boys golf team handily defeated Collegiate, the baseball team is still looking to, I guess, avenge would be the word, their fellow Saints teams who were not as lucky.
Yeah, and these two teams have faced off already this season. The Saints took the victory in that outing. But yeah, Henry, a lot of old history as well as recent history involving these two rivals. Griffin O'Farrell caught that one inside and sent it right to shortstop. So number 11, Nigel Williams, took that one hopper and dispatched O'Farrell. So Thomas Caravati steps into the plate with Hunter Andrews on second and scoring position, trying to knot this game up at 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. That one was inside, but looked pretty good, and umpire didn't give it. Thomas Caravati, good take from him. Stewart got that one inside, and that's a strike for Thomas Caravati.
And so then Saints really need Caravati to get a hit here, although it could be a double-edged sword because if Caravati gets a hit and Waite gets out, that could actually prove useful. Because
that was a great chopper from Thomas Caravati. Gets down to first. Really difficult play for the Collegiate Cougars to try and make, but Caravati got in there, and now great situation for Josh Waite. Runners at first and third, but there's 2 outs. We'll see if Waite can produce a run. Really great effort from Thomas Caravati, making contact and getting down the line.
And if Josh Waite can somehow get on, followed by Will Atkinson, it's back to the top of the lineup for the Saints, and that's where our best hitters are. So it'll be interesting to see then how much conversion of hits to runs we can get.
Right there.
Waite took that one, thought about it, but decided to pass, and that is a called strike.
Straight down the middle, fastball.
Stewart getting a little slider in there.
Waite's been looking at 2 good pitches in a row. I don't know what he's waiting for, but they don't get much better than that.
That one was just outside. Josh Waite thought about it but didn't chase and gets his count back to 1-2.
Yeah, Reese Snyder definitely tried to place that pitch back in, but lost his balance due to the force that it put on him on his outside foot. So
Josh Waite left that one. It was a breaking ball that dropped just low and outside. Josh Waite batting .250 on the season, which is very impressive. One of the Saints' better hitters, and has worked his way into the starting lineup as the season's gone on. Gets a good cut. That'll drop in shallow right. As in comes Hunter Andrews to tie the game. Thomas Caravati advances to third. That's a great cut and a great hit from Josh Waite. Getting an RBI and tying this game at 1.
Josh Waite, yeah, scoring that 1 RBI, and now it's Will Atkinson. And you know who follows Will Atkinson, the Saints' best batter, so it'll be crucial that Will Atkinson makes a play here.
Yeah, with 2 runners on. We saw that great hit and run from the Saints as Coach Tony Simonera sent Thomas Caravati running. Looks like it paid off.
Shout him out. Shout him out.
Right there.
That was in for a strike. And similarly, yeah, like you mentioned, if Will Atkinson can get on base or knock another run in, we would just have a really, really important part of the Saints lineup as Nick Biddison would be next up to bat.
Just even like a small blooper like Josh Waite just hit right over the gap between first and second base. Just something little.
Yeah, in Shepherd Stadium, it looks like they're trying to catch Josh Waite, able to get back in. That was good observation from Waite as Reef Snyder called Stewart for the outside ball and try and catch Waite. But yeah, that bloop we saw from Josh Waite, this is such a big stadium here at Shepherd.
And I'm sure what many fans don't notice is that play by Travis Reese Snyder really had a lot of audacity, because if he'd messed up that throw, that's another run for the Saints. And there's a steal.
Here comes Josh Waite.
Wow, what a pass by the JMU commit Travis Reese Snyder. Sniped.
Second baseman John Ballou able to grab it and get the tag down. So tried to get the double steal there with 2 outs. Josh Waite just caught out running. So we will take a quick break as we head into the bottom of the 3rd inning with the score tied at 1-1. Excuse me, the top of the 3rd inning. So we're back here for the top of the third. John Ballou steps in up against Madison Furman. Furman with a 20 pitch inning. Oh, wow. That was a great breaking ball. Gets it low. Might have been a changeup, actually. Gets John Ballou swinging. But Furman in the second, one run. It was not earned as Rice advanced to first on an error. So Furman with 20 pitches, 12 of them were strikes in that second inning, able to get the Saints out of it. As John Ballou now down in the count 0-2.
And any doubts that, including me, that I had of Madison Furman of Madison Furman losing his touch, they're quickly extinguished as he's thrown 2 great pitches in a row and really proven to be on a roll for the Saints.
Yeah, forces Ballou into a pop-up there, came just back over the net, dropped here in the stands. Count's still at 0-2.
Caught it with his hat.
Oh, it was a great pitch from the lefty. Furman trying to get that inside.
Now it's the Saints section moaning and groaning as believe that had to be a strikeout for the Saints.
Ump doesn't give it, so it's 1-2.
More outcry.
Yeah, Furman just tagging the corners here now. So the count's at 2-2. Blue able to eke out two balls from Madison Furman.
And there's no debate about that one.
Yeah, that one's in there, and the umpire gives it. Furman gets Ballou looking.
What exemplary for pitching from that batter, or from Madison Furman at that at bat. Remarkable.
So
and
Furman.
Now we're up with number 10, David Hugo, an outfielder, captain of Collegiate.
Hugo takes that one high. David Hugo, captain, along with Brett Oney and Travis Reef Snyder, excuse me, for the Cougars. Furman gets that one back inside for 1-1. Furman, one of the Saints captains, along with Nick Biddison, his catcher there behind the plate. And that one was inside, but got the corner. Furman now with 2 strikes again. One of Madison Furman's best qualities as a pitcher is just his composure, along with his composure combined with his control over the ball is just something that most batters really just can't handle. If he gets down on a count or he has a tough inning like we saw in the second, he just battles right back, and with such a wide array of pitches can fight right back in it. Hugo fouls off 2 consecutive ones.
Definitely doing everything he can to stay alive and avoid getting the second out, trying to lead into the back end of the top of the lineup strong.
Yeah, so Trey Bell, the center fielder, is up next. Madison Furman grabs that one on his glove and flicks it calmly to Murphy for the out. So Furman had a few strikes in there, but at the end of the at-bat grabs the ground ball for an out.
The pitch to strike out the other guy was 81. Say that. So the pitch to strike out the last guy was 81. Okay.
Madison Furman, we've got a radar gun back here behind the plate. And Madison Furman reached 81 to strike out John Ballou. And that grounder against David Hugo was clocked at 82. So Madison Furman producing some really high speeds. But now it's the top of the order. Trey Bell in there for the Cougars at 1-1, and that one's outside. Oh, wow. Bell sent that one wide, and Nigel Williams in the on-deck circle just calmly snagged it with his left hand. It's still a strike, though, and now it's 2-2 with 2 outs. Madison Furman trying to close out the inning for the Saints. Bell fouls that one to the opposite side now.
So Trey is start of the Cougars lineup, Trey Bell, followed by Nigel Williams, who Miller mentions on deck, and then followed by Travis Eaststein, the collegiate star player. So even if Trey Bell gets a hit, if Nigel Williams was to be the third out, that would be very advantageous for the Saints, as it would start with Travis Eaststein, and they could expect little damage to be done. But unfortunately, it's a walk.
Yeah, Trey Bell takes the fourth one. It was low and inside, and he'll head to first base as Nigel Williams steps in. So still 2 outs. And if you're keeping track at home, the box score, Cougars still with 0 hits. They've got that run on an error, as Williams fouls that one toward the concession stand. Came dangerously close to knocking over the grill. So Furman now, like he started so many at-bats this game, up in the count, 0-1. Well, Shepherd Stadium is going to be a pretty interactive one as foul balls keep flying back here to the stands, and some quick reactions by some fans.
We're right here in the open.
Yeah, we're right behind, not under any cover, and yeah, that ball could have bounced back off a chair and tagged one of us, but
Furman to Donovan Murphy there. Unsuccessful at picking.
yeah, just checking Trey Bell on his lead, making sure. Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't want to steal, and Trey Bell gets going, and
he got him.
Yeah, Will Atkinson able to get over Nick Biddison. It didn't look like he had gotten the throw out in time. Trey Bell had a good lead and a good jump to that, but Biddison to Atkinson able to get him out in the top of the 3rd inning.
I mean, that's a truly remarkable comparison between the Saints and the Cougars, Miller, is that you see Travis Reesener just last inning throw an exemplary pass to second base, and then this inning, Nick Biddison ends the inning with the exact same pass, and both star players for their teams, both amazing hitters. It's remarkable that the teams are reflected in so many ways.
Yeah, 2 college commits, Reeve Snyder to JMU, Biddison to Virginia Tech. It's a matchup that we're loving so far. It's 1-1, and we will be right back for the bottom of the 3rd. We apologize if we weren't audible that inning. Might have had some technical difficulties, but to sum it up, Biddison got a hit into center field, but the Saints couldn't do anything with it. Biddison stranded at first as the Saints go down with their top of their lineup. So the Cougars shut him out in the third. We'll be back in just a minute for the top of the fourth inning. So we're back as Nigel Williams steps in. He took a half of an at-bat back in the third. But Biddison, we saw that great throw to second, catching Trey Bell stealing, able to rack up the third out. So Williams gets another chance. Furman breaks that one in for a strike. Williams makes contact. What a play. Pat Rootsis. And another, Furman, I was going to say. Excuse me, that's Murphy. It was a great effort from Rootsis to stop the ground ball. It was a hopper over to third, and he got off his feet to make a diving stop. And
just unable to convert the...
Yeah, Nigel Williams got to first in a hurry. The throw from Rootsis was close, but not exactly where Murphy wanted it. So the first baseman couldn't make the pick. So it's the first hit of the game for the Cougars as Nigel Williams gets it. And my Lord, what a cut from number 22, Travis Reefsnyder.
Definitely going for broke there. That was...
Yeah, catcher there was swinging for the fences. Swung out of his socks. But it's a strike.
Does it again, wow.
Yeah, another cut that doesn't convert. So a quick 0-2 count now. Travis Reefsnyder put himself in a hole, which is exactly what Furman wants. Stares him down before selecting the options Biddison gives him. Reefsnyder fouls that up over the back of the overhang here at Shepherd Stadium. Furman gets that one outside. Reefsnyder chased, and that's 3 swinging strikes. Reefsnyder dispatched very quickly. So Lou Rice is now up. Produced the sole run for the Cougars. Back in the second inning. And with one down, sends that to center field.
And that's not going to get out either.
Yeah, it's deep, but not deep enough. Thomas Caravati tracks it down and makes the catch.
Seems like many people all the people on both teams are going to have a really hard time even going for a home run. So it might be the smart move is to get these small hits we've been seeing just over the infield, but landing Stallo in the outfield, getting these small singles rather than going for these all for nothing doubles, triples, or home runs that we've been seeing.
Yeah, you mentioned in the inning change, Henry, that this field here at Shepherd, 336 the yardage out to left, 374 to center, which are respectively 16 yards deeper and 24 yards deeper than the Saints' home stadium at Jacobs. So really, really big field. Outfielders, they got a lot of room to work out there, which can be good, but can also be difficult to handle. We saw Nick Biddison chopping his one into center as Biddison goes out to meet with Furman. It's definitely too early to take him out, I'd say, but Biddison and pitching coach Jason Schilling, it looks like, just talking things over with Furman, seeing if he's all right.
Looking maybe for the best possible time to sub Charlie Vizenovic, I believe, is the relief pitcher coming in.
Yeah, we talked to the Saints beforehand, and it sounded like the game plan was to bring on Vizenovic, who's had quite a good season. He's 33 innings pitched, 5-0 when he starts. Obviously, not including no decisions, and a .64 ERA, so something really, really impressive for him, not even allowing a run on average. And Furman forces a little grounder there. Saints could turn a double, but as there are 2 outs, they're just going to walk off the field. Atkinson able to grab that one from O'Farrell to close out the top of the 4th inning. So we will be just back in a few minutes for the Saints at bat here in the 4th inning.
And we're back. The Saints leadoff batter is Hunter Andrews.
Hunter Andrews had a strong performance today for the Saints. Changed up off the start
By the pitcher, looked good from back here, but it caught a ball.
another changeover curveball from Collegiate pitcher. This one's called a strike, however.
Hunter Andrews at a 1-1 count.
Straight fastball down the middle. Strike 2 for Hunter Andrews. Fly ball just over the net. A little bit out of Travis Snyder's reach. Hunter Andrews back.
Still 1-2 count.
That's a good cut from Andrews. Over the short, and Collegiate converts on the out. That was Nigel Williams, who got a hit himself in the previous half inning. That foul ball from Hunter Andrews almost took me out as I was coming back from my cheeseburger, but thankfully for Simmerl and McDermott here, I'm okay, so the stream can go on. Furman takes a cut, fouls it off behind. That one for the 0-1 with one out. Didn't like it, looked outside, but it's a called strike for Furman.
interesting about Madison Furman, he's the DH for the Saints, but he's a pitcher, rare occurrence.
Lefty Madison Furman reached for that one and got it down the line over to second base. But the Cougars able to convert as John Ballou took the grounder.
Willa Farrell, freshman, coming up to bat. Sixth batter in lineup for the Saints. Had a great season so far. Numerous RBIs and hits. And great hit there right over the second base. That's been a popular spot for the Saints this game.
That's a great cut. We mentioned there's a lot of space in the outfield. If you're going to hit a line drive, that's the place to go. So that drops in. Now batting Thomas Caravati up against Stewart. Stewart so far has allowed 5 hits, 1 run, with no walks and 1 strikeout. Conversely, Madison Furman already with 5 strikeouts on the game. For the Saints, Thomas Caravati took that cut high and fouls it wide. Meets with third base coach and head coach Tony Simondero, just trying to figure out the game plan for this at-bat.
Yeah, it's a complicated thing. Should he strike out and end the inning with Wade up next and right around the turn of the starter lineup, which is the deadliest position for Collegiate? Or should they continue just plowing ahead and maybe risk having Biddison lead off, which I don't think at this point in the game is what they want. I think they want Biddison and Murphy to be clean up, get the RBIs for the Saints.
That one's outside, so Caravati forces the 1-on-1. And yes, similar like you said, Caravati definitely wanting to move the Saints down the line here. Get the top of the lineup up as soon as possible, but that one is a strike. So now it's 1-2.
Yeah, despite confusion on the scoreboard, that is 1-2.
Caravati owes a heater right down the first baseline and looked like it might have caught the edge and go fair, but that one's foul. So the count remains the same. 2 outs. Griffin O'Farrell on first base. That one's wide, and Caravati wanted it, so he swung, but as Reef Snyder had to go in the dirt to get it, he catches Thomas Caravati out, running to first on that strikeout. So that'll end the that'll end the 4th inning. And we'll be just back in a little bit for the 5th.
Yeah. You can sit right there.
So welcome back. It is the top of the 5th inning. Cougars are batting, and I'm privileged to welcome to the call former St. Chris SID member Shelton Moss, now up at Virginia Tech, working with their sports information team. Shelton has had a really great sports information career, doing a lot for the Saints, and we're glad to have him with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the broadcast.
Furman gets that one in for the second strike of the at-bat.
So good performance by Furman so far. You look at the overall pitch count. 64 pitches coming to this inning, 42 for strikes. That's about, I'd say 70 to 75%. Pretty good ratio there.
Oh boy, got him swinging. Murphy put that low, and number 8, the pitcher, Michael Stewart.
Yeah, another strikeout there. Excuse me, another strikeout there. That'll be 6 on the night for Furman. Only 1 walk, so obviously that ratio looking pretty good. It's good to see, I think, for the Saints to see Furman doing so well against this team, because look at last outing on April 13th. Now, Saints won that one 9-6 in comeback fashion, but Furman didn't have the best of outings in 3 2/3 innings pitch. Gave up 6 runs, although only 3 of them were earned. Obviously, his defense didn't do too many favors there, but still 3 earned runs, 6 overall, and 5 hits plus 4 walks. So much better outing today against the Cougars from Madison Furman.
Furman gets the DH, Hayden Luckert, swinging on that one. Now 2 strikes. This has been a very, very efficient inning so far for Madison Furman. Luckert able to just get the bottom edge on that one, fouls it wide.
Yeah, you see a lot of those collegiate hitters really reaching for those pitches, because Furman's always getting ahead in the count, so they got to be protecting the plate with 2 strikes. And just
exactly.
Like
We've seen Furman get ahead a lot. Likes to start off with a really aggressive first pitch, getting a strike. And then once he does that, he can really work with the plate. Target lots of different areas, maybe force the batters to reach for something that wouldn't necessarily be a strike.
You look at his off-speed stuff. It's actually not that fast, but Furman's told me previously this year. I texted a bit with him. He said his off-speed stuff right now is already college level, but he wants to work on getting that fastball velocity up. And he said he'll spend some time in the weight room, hopefully over the summer and throughout next year, working on building up arm strength and getting that fastball velocity up. And he said that was one weak point this year when he went through a couple rough patches.
Yeah, Furman really great control over his pitches. The speed on the fastball is something he does want to work on. But when he's got a bunch of other breaking balls, change-ups, lots of stuff that most pitchers at this level don't have in their locker, he provides a really, really big threat for the Saints. So he gets Lockard swinging for the second strikeout of the inning. I believe that's his 7th so far, Sheldon.
That is correct. 7 strikeouts, just to 1 walk and 1 hit. And, of course, the run was unearned due to the error. But I'm sure Furman will tell you he doesn't want to make that wild pitch he threw in the second inning, which allowed the base runner to get over to third base.
Yeah, but since that second inning, Furman's really gotten his game back under control. We saw him meet with Biddison in their pitching coach at the end of the 3rd. But this inning so far has been nothing short of dominant for Furman. 2 Ks, and he's worked number 12, John Ballou, into an 0-2 count. I believe actually each of these at-bats so far this inning have been an 0-2 as Ballou catches that one, sends it into the net, back behind the plate. Furman stares him down before firing just a little low, bounces that one in.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot of times when Furman gets up to 0-2, he'll usually just throw a waste pitch in the dirt, try to see if he can throw some junk and get the hitter to bite, but it didn't right there.
So with a lot of room to work with, Furman puts that one inside, and John Ballou makes contact, but Biddison keeps it in his glove. So with that, we will end the top of the 5th, and the Saints will come back for their at-bat in just a little bit. So it's Josh Waite now in to start the bottom of the 5th inning for the Saints. The left fielder. And number 8 in line for the Saints. Will Atkinson stepping in on deck. That's a good cut from Josh Waite over to second base. It's a ground out though. That's Ballou able to claim that and get him out pretty easily. So with 1 out, Atkinson steps in.
So look at the overall performance here tonight from Stewart. Overall 65 pitches, 45 of which have been strikes. He's given up 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. In that last 4th inning, he threw 14 pitches, 12 of which were for strikes, so only 2 balls in the 4th frame.
So a very efficient 4th inning for Stewart. Hasn't kept the Saints from getting on base, however. As you mentioned, 5 hits so far. And that one's inside from Stewart. Gets a strike there, so it's 1-1 for Atkinson.
You've got 5 different Saints with 1 hit each, but nobody with 2, so he's scattered the hits throughout the game.
That's an infield fly for Atkinson. Nigel Williams, the shortstop, coming over to grab that one. So now a little bit of a tough position for the top of the Saints lineup. Nick Biddison stepping in the leadoff for the Saints with 2 outs, however.
So Biddy in that last matchup between these two teams back on April 13th, I mentioned earlier, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBIs in that comeback win. So he matched up very well against Stewart. Big power hitter, going to Virginia Tech next year to play some ACC baseball at big-time Division I school.
Yeah, Nick Biddison, ever since he came to St. Chris, has excited lots of college teams. Gets that one deep on the left field line. It's foul. But yeah, 7 home runs on the year for Nick Biddison. Shelton, you spoke about his power, and he certainly has a lot of it, but unfortunately for him, Shepherd Stadium, if there is one, might be the kryptonite to those power hitters looking for shots over the wall.
Yeah, and it kind of works to the advantage of the pitchers, because you could crush a ball, say 330 feet, and it's going to be a fly ball to the warning track. So it works very much in favor of the pitchers here at Shepherd Stadium.
Biddison flies that one back over the net and past the overhang. As the count moves to 2-2 with 2 down for the Saints. Biddison, some great contact in the left field. And the catch is made by number 10, David Hugo, the captain. We're sitting right in front of the Collegiate fan section, and you heard them get excited about that one. But we will take a break for the top of the 6th inning. So leading off for the top of the sixth, senior captain David Hugo, who caught Nick Biddison's line drive for the third out of the fifth. Furman is low for the first pitch ball there.
Yeah, and ever since the second inning, this Saints and Cougars have definitely been at a stalemate. So nearing the end of this game, it'll be interesting to see who breaks out of it, or how many extra innings have to occur before someone does indeed.
Hugo fouls that one back, and we mentioned pitching efficiency earlier in this game, and that fifth inning was a perfect display of just that. Madison Furman going 10 pitches, 8 strikes to rack up all 3 outs, and Michael Stewart said, anything you can do, I can do almost as well. 10 pitches, 6 strikes. And now we're 1 inning gone in the 6th. Madison Furman takes that chopper right up the middle for the out. And Henry, we're glad to have you back, but I'd like to just quickly mention and thank Shelton Moss, class of 2017, for joining me here for the call on that last inning. Shelton does a really great job, really committed to sports information and making sure that his work is as professional as possible, and that's the best word I can use to describe him, is professional as well as committed. Madison Furman just tags the leadoff Trey Bell on the arm there. But as I was saying, just a really big heartfelt thanks to Shelton Moss from all of us here at the Sports Information Department. And any Saints fan, I would look out for Shelton to continue his sports information career as he goes on through Virginia Tech and maybe even later in life. So thanks to him. It's Nigel Williams now stepping in for the Cougars as Trey Bell advanced on that hit by pitch. That one's in there for a nice fastball strike.
Madison Furman still staying on top of it. Good composure, even though having pitched, quite a bit this game.
That's a great breaking ball, catching the outside corner. It's a called strike, and now Nigel Williams in at 1-2. That one just outside. Furman trying to get the velocity up to just blow it past Nigel Williams. But that missed the edge. And the breaking ball just outside. Madison Furman not wanting to give Nigel Williams anything to really make contact with, but he's worked himself up to a full count here.
Wow, what a pitch from Madison Furman.
Yeah, that breaking ball just got it back inside. He teased Williams just a little bit with those 3 balls on the outside before sliding that one right in there. Williams missed his cut, and Furman gets the second out, his 8th strikeout of the game. Now Travis Reef-Snyder, one of Collegiate's college prospects. College talents. He's not a prospect anymore, committed to James Madison. But Furman is playing college ball as well, and the VCU commit gets Reef-Snyder swinging on the outside.
2.
Yeah, another huge cut from Reef-Snyder. Madison Furman all over the strike zone, not letting anybody touch him. It's 0-2 now. 2 outs and 1 on.
Will this be Reef-Snyder's 3rd strikeout?
Yeah, that's a good point, Simmerl. Reef-Snyder's faced Madison Furman twice this game so far and gone down on a strikeout both times. Able to make contact on that one, fouls it over the third base line.
Reese is definitely not someone who generally goes down looking, but his first strikeout he was, and last strikeout he was swinging at pitches that had no place. And the Saints are mad there because they felt like he should have gone down swinging right there too. Fortunately for the Saints, that was not.
Reeve Snyder took that one inside. Looked like he might have tried to frame it a little bit, take another pitch on the elbow. Sends that one deep to center field. Terrence Caravati's there to make the catch. That's a great play from him, able to chase it down, and that's one of the best examples I've seen today of the curse of Shepherd Stadium. It was a great swing from Reeve Snyder, really great contact, and it sounded and looked like a home run, but that nasty 374 footage out there, able to prevent Reeve Snyder from going yard. And Madison Furman able to knock down the Collegiate side. We'll be back in just a little bit. We are back here for the bottom of the 6th inning as first baseman and number 2 in the batting order, Donovan Murphy, steps in. That one gets past the catcher as Michael sends that wide. Michael Stewart pitched the whole game so far. That one's outside. So Murphy glad to be up, and the count is 2-0.
Murphy on the taller side for the Saints. Saints average height probably doesn't exceed more than 6 feet. Murphy standing at 6'3", well above that average and above the average of most teams.
And that height works to his advantage as he takes the walk. Here's the first base. Donovan Murphy, also a star basketball player for the Saints, helped contribute a lot this past winter. But up now is Patrick Rutzis, another multi-sport athlete for the Saints, the football quarterback. And in the spring, the third baseman and pitcher, stepping in now with Murphy on first and no outs. That one catches the outside corner and goes for a strike. I'd like to mention quickly, the St. Christopher's managers, Jack Filer and Will Roberts, doing a great job so far for the Saints this season. Both of them, I know, have loved being a part of the team and helping them through a really, really good season. Rutzis takes the second one. That was outside as well, but both pitches caught the outside corner. So it's 0-2. Rutzis now needs to protect. Chases and protects, able to connect, but sends that one over the overhang. Oh, and 2, and Patrick Rutzis connects, but sends that one flying over to Nigel Williams at shortstop. Murphy able to get back in, though. So he's safe now. One out for the Saints as Hunter Andrews steps in. the right fielder, trying to generate some runs for the Saints. We're in the second to last inning. 6 of 7. Of course, unless the score is still tied and we head to extras, but that one looked like it was in, but the umpire saw it high. Gives Andrews the ball. So Reef Snyder will trot out to meet with Stewart, and as the team comes in, it looks like his day might be done.
Done a great job for the Cougars, only giving up 1 run to the Saints, which is really rare for opposing pitchers.
Yeah, Stewart really contributing to the Cougars' success this game and this season. And Stewart will stay in. Sophomore class of 2020. Also plays first base. But as of right now, the Cougars and their coaches giving him their confidence, and he follows up the meeting with a very fast ball right down the middle. That one a lot of velocity on it as well, and it's outside. So Stewart, a sophomore, you got to think some of these young pitchers might just need a little words of encouragement to find some more velocity. As Andrews sends a chopper to shortstop, or to second base. And Roots is forced out at second, but Andrews' great hustle to get down to first and avoid the double play. Cougars thought they had it, but first base umpire called him safe. So now Madison Furman, the pitcher, will step in with 2 outs and a man still on first. Excuse me, it wasn't Rootsis who was caught at second, it was Donovan Murphy. But regardless, still just a man on first for the Saints. That one was high and Murphy decided to take. It's a good decision because now it's 1-0. Furman takes a cut, and looks like it's going to be on the right side of the fence. Travis Reef Snyder tried to chase it down, but I don't blame him for not committing to that totally. It's a brick wall there right below the net, and that would have not felt so good if he had tried to make a play and didn't come up with it. But regardless, it's a foul ball, and now it's 1-1 for Furman. Fouls another one. That one was high and outside, and he sends that back behind the plate again. That's a great cut from Furman. Got a hold of it, but sent it just over the first base line. So another foul ball makes it 1-2 in the count, as the 2 pitchers in this game face off at the plate. Furman, the lefty, fouling it again, doing his best to get Stewart's pitch count up. Maybe force a change in the 7th inning. Madison Furman choking up, trying to protect his plate. Steps out before stepping back in. And now it's Stewart who wants a little break. Fantastic cut from Furman, able to drop it in shallow right field. Andrews heads for third, and that throw is just a little long, but it actually winds up heading to third base. Claimed by Lou Rice. So the Saints fans erupt as Madison Furman gives himself a little bit of help on offense. Dropping a hit into right field. As he trots back to the dugout as Josh Benishashorn comes out to pinch run. Furman gets some more applause.
And this is actually a great position for the Saints because if Josh Van Nistelrooy steals second, there's a very good chance that Hunter Andrews, who's actually very fast, will make it home before the pitch gets a second. If there's a fake and Hunter, however, starts towards home, there's a good chance that Reese Snyder could then pick off Hunter. So the Saints got to play their cards very carefully here. But as long as whoever's up to bat can get them home, that puts them in a very promising lead going into the final inning.
So some decisions to make strategically for the Saints. Maybe going for a double steal, as you mentioned, Henry, but Griffin O'Farrell stepping in the bat. Could look pretty good for the Saints. He's been able to produce some good offense this season, has a hit today. And I believe that'll do it for Michael Stewart. Coach Andrew Slater for the Cougars calls his number and his day is done. He's had a great outing, though. And we will take a quick break. Excuse me. I was going to say we'll take a break to hear who the pitcher is, but it's 22, Travis Reef-Snyder.
So the catcher is coming now to pitch, and it's...
Yeah, catcher Travis Reef-Snyder. JMU commit coming out to pitch, and as you saw, he was playing there behind the plate, so I don't know if he'll get a longer warm-up or what, but so Michael Stewart went 5.2 innings on the night, allowed 6 hits and 1 run, while also throwing 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. So solid day for him, able to limit the Saints to just 1 run. So Stewart did his job, and now Reef-Snyder will take over. We'll see what the other position changes will be. Brett Oney still at first base. Nigel Williams still at short. And John Ballou still at second. It looks like number 8. So yeah, Michael Stewart heads over to third base. And I believe that's number 7, Lou Rice, who drops in behind the plate. So a pretty straight swap for the Cougars, not taking anybody off the bench. Reef-Snyder moves from catcher to pitcher. Michael Stewart moves from pitcher to third, and third baseman Lou Rice moves from third to catch. So we'll take just a quick break. Excuse me. No, we won't. Reef-Snyder says he's ready to go. And after a pretty abbreviated warm-up, Griffin O'Farrell steps into bat. So it's 0-0 in the count with 2 outs. And men on first and third. Good scoring opportunity for the Saints.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is their chance to bury the Cougars.
O'Farrell takes a cut and sends that one careening back into the press box. Might have given our public announcer a little bit of a shock there. But Reef-Snyder, very, very powerful pitcher. A lot of velocity on his pitches. And a lot of accuracy as well. Got that one on the outside corner. Now O'Farrell has to battle down 0-2 in the count. Somewhere you mentioned it. Bottom of the 6th, this is a big opportunity for the Saints. O'Farrell chops it to short. And an easy ground out as Nigel Williams flips it over to John Ballou for the 3rd of the inning. So now, here in the VISAA state semifinal, we're still at 1-1 as we enter the final inning, top of the 7th. Cougars will bat, and it looks like some changes coming up for the Saints. So we'll be back in just a minute to let you know what those are. All right, we're in for the top of the 7th inning. Patrick Rutsis has replaced Madison Furman. Looks like Furman moved out to left field, and Josh Waite came into third. Rutsis fires with some real velocity in there against Lou Rice. And I just want to quickly apologize for my streaming partner here, Henry Simmel, for chewing his sunflower seeds so close to his microphone. I couldn't catch it, so I'd like to thank some of you viewers out there for notifying me.
Yes, I am sorry. It is truly a terrible tragedy.
Okay,
Now,
well,
Patrick Rutsis, pitching for the Saints, known for his truly disgusting curveball. Oh, and an error from shortstop Griffin O'Farrell, I believe.
Yep, that's another error for the Saints. Second of the night, really unfortunate for them. Looks like a fairly routine ground ball. Maybe just a little bit out of Griffin O'Farrell's way. But Lou Rice reaches first on that error, and now first baseman for the Cougars, Brett Oney, will step in. Really important inning for the Saints if they can get out of this with no runs allowed. Biddison tried to fire over to first and catch Lou Rice. Looked like the Cougars were running a steal and a bunt as Brett Oney tried to lay it down for Lou Rice to advance. Biddison almost caught him, but he got back safely. Pulls that one back, and that counts as a ball. So as I mentioned, some really important inning, top of the 7th. The last inning of regular innings. In fact, if it's all tied up after this, we'll go to extras, but in order for that to be the case, Saints really going to need to prevent the Cougars from sending anyone else home. Rutsis is outside as Oney still tries to lay down the bunt. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah, Miller, I'd definitely say at this point there's a really good chance of it going to extra innings. Both teams seem in a definitive stalemate. And while that error from our shortstop, or the Saints shortstop, hurt, I have confidence that Patrick Rutsis will be able to get him out of this inning.
Oh, that's a really
massive error, but
error.
It's going to be all right.
Well, yeah, that's not. So what y'all just saw was Brett Oney fired it down the first base line. Donovan Murphy was able to make a stop as Lou Rice took off stealing for second. Lou Rice had reached second and was rounding it as Donovan Murphy stepped on first to get the force. Murphy saw that Lou Rice had taken just a little bit of a generous round around second base and went to try and pick him off, but sent it into the outfield. Lou Rice scrambled back to second on a face-first slide. And I'm not going to lie, Summer, it looks like he's shaken up, holding his right arm a little bit limp, Lou Rice is.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was caught off balance after going second, and probably did not think Donovan Murphy was going to make that excellent save, and yet he did. And so realizing that he had to jerk back, changing all of his momentum going back, and then just sliding head first into the base, definitely something that's painful and often causes a lot of injuries. So we're definitely lucky he didn't get severely hurt there during all the chaos that was going on around him at that time.
Yeah, so a pretty wild series of events there that thankfully didn't wind up in worse damage for the Saints. They've got an out now as Michael Stewart, the pitcher, I should say the first pitcher for the Cougars, he's now at third base. That one was inside, breaking ball.
Despite that being a ball, I'd like to point out that that's just an example of the amount of curve Rutsis can put on a ball, as I've talked about numerous times already.
Yeah, there's another one.
There,
drops it in for the strike.
That first pitch earlier started off at the head of the batter and drove all the way down to the chest. It was just only a little bit inside. But if Rutsis continue to pitch like that, Saints should be clear in the running.
Yeah, alternating the pitches he goes for is going to really work for Rutsis. We saw Madison Furman, who has a really great control over his changeup and sliders, working really well, able to rack up 8 strikeouts in the innings that he pitched for the Saints. Rutsis now trying to close things out. That one's at the ankles of Stewart, so it's 3-1.
Ruchis definitely needs to get these final strikes in, get out of this inning.
Yeah, now we're in the last 4 batters in the lineup. Stewart is 6th on Collegiate's card.
If I were the current Collegiate batter, I expected a fastball, and that's exactly what Patrick Ruchis threw to get the strikeout there.
That's a big, big pitch from Patrick Ruchis. Fires it in, and Stewart cut just high. So Ruchis able to rack up the second out. That's a big, big at-bat from him. Able to work through the count. It was full before getting the strikeout. And that one tags the outside corner. Great pitching so far from Ruchis. And, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but we could be out of this inning, or excuse me, Ruchis could be out of this inning already if Farrell had caught that ground ball. But it's Hayden Luckert now in for the Cougars. Ruchis lost control of that breaking ball, and it's outside. Ruchis, the quarterback, a heckling target for the Collegiate football team, who have showed up here at Shepherd Stadium in droves, and you can hear them cheering quite loudly. But Donovan Murphy able to get that one.
And the game's all in the hands of the Saints now.
Ruchis able to get the designated hitter Hayden Luckert to line out to Donovan Murphy at first base. It was a fairly simple inning for the Saints. An error that got a man to second. Lou Rice was over there in scoring position for the Cougars, but the Saints able to come out unscathed. Ruchis allows no runs in the top of the 7th as we enter the bottom half of this last inning here in the state semifinal. If the Saints can generate a run, that would do it. Then they would move on to the final to face Norfolk Academy. If not, we'd get free baseball, and the Cougars and the Saints would take another one into the 8th. But we will see what happens. So we'll take a break in just a minute. It'll be Josh Waite batting for the Saints.
Big lineup.
We're back here for the final half inning of regular innings here. Excuse me, it's Thomas Caravati stepping in. I was one batter ahead of myself. It'll be Caravati, Waite, and Atkinson, the bottom of the lineup up for the Saints. If they generate a run, it'll do it for the Saints in walk-off fashion. Thomas Caravati, great cut to right field, starts things off well for the Saints. A good cut on the very first pitch, sending Reed Snyder out to right field.
That's exactly what the Saints need to start off.
Yeah, man on, no outs. Saints can work with a few outs on the board, but it's always a lot easier to do to generate offense without that pressure. So Josh Waite steps in, and Shepherd falls quiet here. Fans.
Josh Waite with the first RBI and only RBI of the Saints.
Yeah, Josh Waite driving in. I believe it was Nick Biddison. Excuse me, Not even close. I think it was Thomas Caravati, actually. Josh Wade thought about laying down the bunt, but Reef Snyder threw it low. Lou Rice, the catcher, giving a few call-outs to his team, trying to organize if Josh Wade does lay down a good bunt.
Not only is this game in the hands of the Saints, it's also in the hands of Travis Reef Snyder, captain. Could be his last game of collegiate career before he heads to JMU. And what's ridiculous about that is whether his team advances to the championship or not, or I mean, in majority in his hands. So it's a question of really whether is he going to fail his team or is he going to lead his team to glory.
And the same can be said for all these Saints batters, as I'm sure Wade, Atkinson, and Biddison up are going to want to generate something. Wade tried to get down the bunt, and it was low, so he pulled back. Lou Rice fired over the first as Caravati was almost on his way to second, but he's back in there safe. The count is now 2-1 for Josh Wade. Pulls it back, and that one was in the middle. Reef Snyder gets it in the zone and able to work Josh Wade up to 2-2. So Wade now watching head coach Tony Simondera for his signals. He'll be swinging at this one, trying to protect with 2 strikes.
Hit and run might be called here for the Saints.
Well, he lays down the bunt, and it was a second strike bunt. So he's called out after that. He was back behind the plate. It's unfortunate for the Saints and not what they wanted to see. It's a wasted at-bat from Josh Wade. He did his best trying to get down the bunt and advance the runner, but Tony Simondera just giving him the signs.
That was a weird call by Coach Simondera. I don't know. I don't know what that, the gain of that was.
I'm going to have to take the mic away from Henry Seminole until he finishes his sunflower seeds. But I'll finish his thought for him. Coach Simondera. Just getting.
Sorry about that, Miller. So as I was saying, I think that was just a risky call for Coach Simondera because Saints haven't really shown this season much expertise or practice with bunting. And to do that on the second strike in the bottom of the 7th final inning really is a risky call rather than just going for broke. And I guess he was really trying to advance a run on first, had a lot of confidence in Josh Wade, but unfortunately didn't pay off.
Yeah, it is high risk, high reward. If Josh Wade had been able to get down a bunt, Saints would be in scoring position and out of a double play situation. But now it's Will Atkinson in there with 1 out, so he definitely is looking to avoid grounding into a double. Travis Reef Snyder gets it in there for the second strike. It's 1-2 for Atkinson. Caravati on first. And Biddison on deck. Atkinson protects, fouls that one back behind. It's 9:38 here in Colonial Heights at Shepherd Stadium. Game time's about 2 hours at this point. Atkinson sends that one high. Out to right field, and it's caught.
That's not what the Saints want.
Yeah, Donovan Williams coming down with that one.
It's all in Nick Biddison's hands.
Nick Biddison stepping in with 2 outs. And a man on first.
Nick Biddison, captain of the Saints, versus Travis Reef Snyder, captain of the Cougars. Who's going to come out top?
Biddison is a big-time player for the Saints. Captain in Virginia Tech commit. Takes the first one high from Reef Snyder. That one's low and in there on the outside corner. That's a strike from Reef Snyder. Biddison now at 1-1. Looks over to Simondera for some signs, but he's letting him make his own decisions here in this at-bat. So Nick Biddison and Travis Reeve-Snyder are going to be squaring off here. Biddison got a hold of that. That's deep. That'll go. It's a walk-off 2-run home run from Nick Biddison. It sends the Saints to the VISAA state final. We talked about it all game. It's a deep stadium. Shepherd Stadium at about 340 feet out in left field. But Biddison does it for the Saints.
And that's the answer. The captain of the Saints beats the captain of the Cougars. St. Chris wins with the walk-off home run by Nick Biddison. Truly remarkable, a 336-plus yard home run to advance the Saints to the championship.
Well, they're the Cataract Kids of baseball. The St. Christopher Saints, 2 wins in the VISAA tournament, both in walk-off fashion. It was first Rootsis with the sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 7th over Trinity Episcopal. This time it's Biddison in a more exciting way than we've ever seen, at least this season. Biddison, the senior captain, Virginia Tech commit, giving the Saints an easy way out. It's a 2-run home run. Saints take this one 3-1. And we will be back tomorrow night, Monday night, weather permitting. Same time, same place, Shepherd Stadium here at 7:30. I'm Miller Farley here with Henry Simrel. Thanks to Shelton Moss for joining us back in the 5th inning, and William McDermott for running our camera, Coach Lou, the head of sports information, for sending us up. And I'm not sure if this will be my last stream ever or not, but if I can't make it out on Monday, I'd just like to thank everybody for a really great ride here as an SID member. I'm really excited for what everybody's going to continue in the coming years, especially with this move to YouTube. But my Lord, Nick Biddison sends a shot deep over the left field wall. Something, I got to say, Henry Summerall and I were not expecting at all the whole game. But Biddison does it. It's his 8th of the year. And by far the most important, the Saints will face the number 7 seed Norfolk Academy Bulldogs tomorrow night. Thank you all, and have a good one.